What's up, everybody, and welcome to ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. I'm Drew Bosley. You can find me on Twitter at ArtisticGamer28. That's the one, the only. It is Scott Savage. You find him on Twitter at Savage. Scott, what's happening, buddy? It's what a wicked start for the day.
Yeah, I'm staring into the sun. It feels like I have a headache that's worse than Xavier from X-Men.
That's rough. I hate that, dude. Those they do come and go. Hopefully yours will be gone by the end of the day, because we got a lot to talk about. So what are we talking about today? Well, we're live over on twitch.tv/the official ITG, as well as YouTube at ITG Reviews. But if you can't join us live, hit us up later inside the game.ca, podcast services and TV streaming networks around the globe. Scott, Sony and Lego Holdings Company invest large into Epic Games to deepen their relationship. What does the future look like for Scott's favorite franchise and their latest game? Oh, we'll get into that one. And Xbox has an exclusive game in development from an outside studio. Are you ready, dude?
Oh, I'm ready. This sounds like a lot of possibilities here.
Oh, there's a lot of stuff going on. Sony invests another $1 billion into Epic Games to deepen their relationship in the metaverse. Should we stop right there, Scott? This comes from Sean Murray at The Gamer. Sony and Epic Games have shared a financial partnership for some time, with Sony investing $200 million in Epic just last year. Now that it's 2022, Sony has decided it's time to pour more money into Epic with the intent of having ground floor access to its metaverse plans. This is where it kind of gets interesting. Epic has just announced it's secured $2 billion in funding, with $1 billion coming from Sony and another $1 billion coming from Lego Holdings Company. Would you pronounce that as Kirby, or it would be like individual letters, you think? K-I-R?
You know, I played Kirby too recently. That looks like Kirkby to me.
That's kind of what I was going with. But
if Kirby absorbs Captain Kirk.
Quote, all three companies highly value both creators and players, end quote, wrote Epic in a statement. Quote, and aim to create new social entertainment exploring the connection between digital and physical worlds, end quote. Sony president and CEO Kenichiro Yoshida said he was confident that this investment and Epic's recently released Unreal 5 game engine will, quote, accelerate our various efforts, such as the development of new digital fan experiences in sports and virtual production initiatives, end quote. Metaverse, a word that's been getting thrown around frequently among upper echelon of gaming. Just last week, Epic and Lego announced a new partnership to jointly build a Lego-themed metaverse, or, as Lego described it, an immersive, creative, inspiring, and engaging digital experience for kids of all ages. What the? Man.
Straight out of their mission statement right there.
No kidding, right? Wow. Although popular with CEOs and executives, the metaverse is having trouble finding actual customers. A recent report revealed the metaverse games Axie Infinity and The Sandbox and Decentraland are all struggling to retain players as they see their games' NFT values and trading volume plummet. Axie Infinity, just that one there, dude, they made $500 million in a month.
Yeah, that's the game that just blew up because of NFT, right?
Exactly, yeah. So proponents of the metaverse counter that these are just early examples, and future iterations of the metaverse will be more successful. Quote, as we imagine the future of entertainment and play, oh man, my phone's on, sorry. I was waiting for a text message from you earlier, Scott. That's right, everybody. Scott's joined us now, so I can now get rid of this. There we go. All right, in our partnership with Sony and Kirkby, I'm gonna call it Kirkby, dude, said Epic CEO Tim Sweeney, quote, the investment will accelerate our work to build a metaverse and create spaces where players can have fun with friends, brands can build creative and immersive experiences, and creators can build a community and thrive, end quote. Scott, welcome to Epic's journey, dude.
You know, I feel like they're going to discover what the PlayStation Home discovered a decade ago.
They tried that, right?
It
That's
still
what they tried.
sounds the same to me when I look at this metaverse, and I think one of two things: PlayStation Home, and then I think How
call.
long until I can hit up a McDonald's in the metaverse? That's what I'm looking forward to. If there's a Lego theme to it, even better. But I have yet to see anything really materialize or digitize. That's a bad one.
Well, yeah, it kind of works though. To be honest, it really does work. It is one of those weird situations, right? But dude, $2 billion out of two companies—that is a ton of money. They obviously have the investment that they are looking for. I think Unreal. I think just investing in Unreal Engine 5 is a good move. We just covered recently that the fact that 50% of the industry is heading over to Unreal, and that's only going to continue to grow, right? I think we're seeing the rise now. Unreal Engine 4 has been around for, I think it was like 8 years, 7 years, 8 years. And now with this new step forward in technology, it's supposed to be a lot more simplistic, a lot easier to get into, and a lot quicker to develop on. So it's going to make a lot of strides go a lot quicker and accelerate production on a ton of stuff. Right, that's the biggest thing, is how quickly can they iterate and move the video game genre forward. Can we go from a 5-6 year plan of development down to 4 or 3 years because of Unreal Engine, right? Does that help speed that whole process up? Because there's a lot of time that takes to get into the Unreal Engine, to understand it, how it works, and then build your world throughout it in order to get these games up and running. That can all be accelerated and move things forward. We can then all of a sudden no longer waiting 5 years for these games, right? We can maybe get it done and have it ready to go and play it in 3 years. Maybe this is why, again, why we saw CD Projekt Red jump over as well. They're no longer working on their own engine, because a long time they've been, what's the last Witcher game? And Cyberpunk has been on their own engine over there. And just recently we saw the partnership go over with Epic so that they can use the Unreal Engine 5 on their next game. So next Witcher Saga, they're calling it, right? So we in for another trilogy, Scott, with Cyberpunk, you think?
I think so. Yeah, sounds like it. Or maybe a seasonal kind of release with the case of Witcher, if they keep up with the TV show. I haven't seen the Netflix season.
Dude.
Do you think there's a season 3 coming?
Absolutely.
Or is that just kind of like a guaranteed now?
No, that's a guaranteed. Dude, that is a guaranteed thing coming.
As long as Henry Cavill doesn't cost $1 billion.
He's taking half of this investment with him.
It's interesting to see that Sony's jumping on top of this, because maybe we'll actually get something forming in the metaverse with Sony kind of pushing.
Yeah, I think that's why one of the other reasons why you see Sony on board, right? They tried with Home. I think Home was an interesting take on trying to build that brand and that whole metaverse at the time. Now things are moving forward. When I think of metaverse, Scott, I go VR, right? That's where I think metaverse is taking us, is in the world of VR. How can we interact within this world and stuff like that? And then moving with PlayStation 2, right? PlayStation's getting into PlayStation VR 2. Do we get this Home 2.0 kind of thing through the metaverse with partnership with Epic? Are they able to mesh both worlds in together? Do they bring Unreal? We saw as well with Unreal Engine 5 running a lot of the new PlayStation VR 2 titles coming this way as well. So it does make a lot of sense, but man, that $1 billion investment, that's a ton of money.
Yeah, well, it tells me they're going to do something with it. It's not just going to go to nowhere, I'm sure. Absolutely. I'm really curious about this metaverse. I'm skeptical, but I want to see something come out of it.
Scott, you know what I'm curious about? The verse of Battlefield 2042 falls below 1,000 concurrent users on Steam. This is Sean Murray at The Gamer. Battlefield 2042 is now below 1,000 concurrent players on Steam. The unfortunate milestone marks, oh man, that sucks. That is not a milestone anybody wants to see. No. Marks a new low for the troubled multiplayer shooter that has been resoundingly criticized for its poor performance, technical issues, and missing features. The statistics was first spotted on Reset Era user via VGC over the Steam monitoring site Steam Charts. As you can see with this, we don't have the graph, but the Steam report users, 979 users playing Battlefield 2042 at 8 a.m. Monday morning. Now, granted, dude, this is a Monday morning, like they're talking about as well.
Yeah.
Players are nobody's going to be at a high level player count at that point, but
I'm wondering what kind of a time zone they're speaking on.
There's that too, right?
Yeah, like early 8 in the morning in the UK makes it quite different time here, but it depends on where your main group of people are, main player base, which I would expect is America. But
I would think so as well, right? So you gotta think what central time zone or even East Coast, like East. our time zone, right?
That's what I would have guessed. Yeah.
Yeah. So it doesn't really say here what time zone they're pulling from, just that it's 8 a.m. on Monday morning when they pulled these numbers. So it's almost here's the thing. Is this now where I'm getting a whole other, I'm going to go off a tangent here, Scott. Is this clickbait, dude? Is this really clickbait article news here? Because if you pull in at 8 a.m. on a Monday morning on some random time zone, you're not going to have the high number, right? The influx of players. What if you take a look now at, say, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock Eastern? What's that player count look like then? I think that's one of the things you should kind of keep in the back of your mind. But either way, Scott,
well, to know the actual, steady numbers, I want to see it at about midnight, 1 o'clock. That'll tell me who's really playing the game because I want to.
No, absolutely.
Not out of curiosity, but you might be onto something though here. This bait or this article might be some sort of clickbait because it is such a well-known oddity.
Well, that's just it. Scott, where do you see the future of Battlefield 2042 lie?
Oh, I think they're going to work on it for another year, but I'm not expecting a Battlefield 2043. I don't think that's going to happen. I think what's more likely is they're going to go roll back to something that was more appreciated, like Battlefield 4, Battlefield 3 maybe even. And 5 was meh, and Battlefield 1 was really good, but I think they're going to try and remaster or reintroduce one of those games instead of picking up the pieces of this game. Sure. I think they'll keep a team on this for another year, I believe, just because it is the newest one. They have to do something, but I don't think it's going to be a commercial success anytime soon, whether you put NFTs in it or not.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Dude, Project Belfry, Xbox is working with the Banner Saga dev Stoic Studio on an exclusive. It comes from Windows Central. I'm not sure who we pulled that from, but it was over at Windows Central. Make sure you swing by the site and give them a click. The Banner Saga is a trilogy of cult hit tactical RPGs with gorgeous animated art, which launched originally on the Xbox One and PC. The developer behind those games, Stoic Studios, is building an exclusive under Xbox Global Publishing, according to information they've received. Today, Jeff Grubb added some pieces to the jigsaw puzzle on his Grub Snacks show via doesn't matter, but giving over at Grub Snacks, GamesBeat, Jeff Grubb, we all know he's one of the biggest insiders around, so make sure you can check his stuff out as well. But giving us a glimpse at another potential addition to the list of upcoming Xbox exclusives. Mentioned a couple of weeks ago back about a code name Belfry he discovered pertaining an upcoming Xbox game on Xbox 2 podcast show with YouTuber Rand AI Thor 19. Up until now, he wasn't sure exactly what the game was besides a vague reference to bell towers. A new Stoic was building a he says, I knew Stoic was building a game with Xbox too, but it wasn't until Jeff Grubb put the final pieces together on his show today that everything fit into place. Grubb also gave us key details about the game and some snippets about what to expect. Belfry is another title joining what seems to be the vast expansion of Xbox Global Publishing footprint, working with developers big and small to bring more titles to the Xbox Game Pass. Dude, that's the biggest thing right there. Game Pass, Scott, once again striking it up.
Oh yeah,
we've seen large studios jump on board, featuring Avalanche on Contraband. Did you play that one?
No, I don't think that's come out now.
Okay,
I'm curious.
Okay, so that's just one. That one's coming. You want to take a look into that one? And
I'm on it.
There we go. We've seen strong numbers about Project Dragon, built in partnership with Hitman IO Interactive. Dude, it's big shout out to the team over at IO and Hitman. Belfry may be on the smaller side, joining the action RPG from Brass Line Entertainment, codename Shaolin. But given the quality of the Banner Saga, Project Belfry may well punch far above its weight. Scott, do you have high hopes? Have you played the Banner Saga at all?
No, I've only seen it from a distance. So I've seen that art style, and I thought it was really nice looking, but I wasn't into tacticals at the time.
No, for sure. It's definitely got its own unique style, right? So there's a lot of different gameplay elements that I don't typically find myself into when it comes to playing games, but it's definitely one I've seen from afar, and I know it's definitely has that cult following. People love this game, dude. Like, people love the Banner Saga 1 and 2. So I'm curious to see what they're up to next. Do they keep in that same genre, or do they look to expand out like we've seen with Playground moving into the world of Fable? So like, that's a big jump, right? Are they looking to do something like, dude, they took over the next Forza Horizon game. Can you imagine?
That'd be strange. How about we put them in the role of a shooter? That's how Halo was created, and that worked out really well.
And there you go.
Sometimes these studio juggling actually produces some really weird off the wall things that you wouldn't normally get. I have to mention this Xbox 2 podcast. That would have been a great console name.
Yeah, I know. It works for Sony. Dude, anything on Contraband?
No, it's still upcoming.
Okay, so it's still in development, right? But it's in partnership with Avalanche on that. Okay, so that one's coming. What might not be coming, though, Scott, is there's no guarantee on the League of Legends MMO getting released. Riot Games executive producer says. This comes from Ryan Dinsdale over at IGN. The League of Legends MMO may never be released, according to the game's executive producer, but he remains, quote, optimistic, end quote, that it still probably will. Speaking on Twitter, the same way he announced the game in December 2020, executive producer of the MMO project at Riot Games, Greg Street, there's a name, Greg Street, shout out to Greg, said there's no guarantee this game will ship. Street later clarified this is largely the case with any game, though. Quote, until a game ships, you don't know it will ship, end quote. He told the fan, quote, we wouldn't be dedicating so much time to it if we thought the chance of shipping was low, end quote. Man, there's a lot to go into this one, though, Scott, because a lot of games they do see the light of day, and then all of a sudden they just get scrapped last minute. We saw this one. What's the one with Xbox in Platinum? Dude, it's the Dragon game. Scalebound.
Yeah.
Right? Dude, I always go back to that one. I think of Scalebound a lot, going, what could have been? Right? Like what happened? And then we saw recently, too, the team working on Scalebound wouldn't mind talking to Xbox about rebooting that opportunity to see if that ever comes around. But League of Legends is massive.
I wonder if they got an avalanche of phone calls from Sony after that.
Well, you got to think, though, Xbox owns that name, right? If they're going under it, I wonder if Xbox owns Scalebound, but there's got to be the opportunity then to kind of spin that around and do something different and unique, but still under that same kind of feel what they're bringing to Scalebound, but just over to PlayStation. There could have been an opportunity there that we'll never see. Will we see Scalebound? I don't know. Will we see, though, Scott, this League of Legends MMO?
Well, they've got just a giant... If Riot can't put it together and put it out the door, then I don't know if anyone ever could. They have the biggest coffers around. I'm sure they're able to put it together, but will it be a product good enough? Is Riot versed enough in making this kind of a game to put that together?
Yeah,
and I think the answer is yes, just because of all their character balancing and everything they've done with League of Legends so far. But yeah. This actually brings up another question. If League of Legends is so good, where's League of Legends 2?
Oh, do they need a League of Legends 2? Do we play Rainbow Six, right? And they just they just keep bringing more characters over. Rainbow does the same thing, right? Will we see Siege get a sequel? Probably not, because they're going for the 100 scale operators. How many heroes or legends do they have in League of Legends? I'm not a League of Legends player.
I think there's over 150 now.
Yeah, so man, like, where do you even start? Here's the thing, right? Because League of Legends has been around so long, it's so daunting, it would be tough to get into. Now, I think this is what Riot's starting to see too, right? Because they have so many legends within this game that they're like, it's hard to bring and introduce new players. What if we can bring in other things like Arcane, this series over on Netflix you can watch? They got League of Legends Rift, or Wild Rift, I think it's called, the mobile version of the game, right? Start introducing other elements that branch off of the main game to help tie in people to get excited, and maybe then pull them in to the main League of Legends world and get them invested in that. Maybe they can start building up that way. And you're starting to see them branch out a lot, like a ton of the different opportunities that they're starting to pull from. It's
There's
cool
a
to
huge
see.
amount of universe to pull together.
Oh.
They could really start a whole novel series. They could do a show. They could do a movie. There's a million different opportunities, and it's almost like Warcraft in how it went.
Yeah.
Warcraft 1, 2, 3, and then World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
They can stick the landing on this. The League of Legends will endure forever.
I think so, right? And then they got a single player game too. It's a top down kind of Diablo looking style experience. Is what, like, man, they have so many different properties now under the League of Legends brand that it just allows them to pour more investments into that and then hopefully pull in other players. Definitely really cool to see. What's also cool to see, Scott, is that Braden Ethereum alum formed new studio for this dude. I read this morning and I went, what? Here's the studio name. You ready? Furniture and Mattress.
Sounds like a section of Bed Bath & Beyond.
Could they have not thought, like, come up with something else? Like, just, you guys are game designers. Like, design, you need somebody to work on your name. Furniture and Mattress is just a weird one. This comes from Jeffrey Russo over at gamesindustry.biz. Founders Nicholas, Rebecca Barron, David Hellman, and Nick Sutner. I've followed Nick since like early days of PlayStation. Dude, he's a huge fan of Spelunky. That's all he talked about on the podcast back in the day when I was listening. Yeah, so I followed Nick's career for a while. It's cool to see him now. He's gone into other things, and now he's formed his own studio. And now it's the formation of a new game company, Furniture and Mattress. What the heck is like? The studio is receiving support by the Astra Fund and had said that it will operate as a fully remote independent company. Its first unnamed project is currently under development. However, it will look to explore the founders' quote love of adventure and exploration, clever puzzles, and weird humor, end quote, which fits Nick to a T. This is kind of why I'm like, this is cool. So Rebecca Barron, who previously worked on Ethereal, will oversee the game design and programming of the studio's unnamed project. Hellman, who is an artist of the title Braid, dude, which is a legendary title now at this point, right? Like it's been, have you ever played Braid?
No, I think I've heard about it just a little bit though. I think you might have mentioned it to me.
Yeah. No, it's definitely one of those. It was a standout of its time and one that's continued to be talked about just because it has an emotional roller coaster of an experience. So he will handle its art and animation, where Sutner, formerly of PlayStation, will take on narrative production and business development operations. Quote, we've all been making games in some capacity for a long time, so it was important to us to do it in a healthy way, biting off something of the right scope, paying ourselves properly, and sharing in the creative vision of the game, Sutner said. Dude, that's cool. I'm curious to see what they come up with. They're very quirky, very unique team. But Scott, can you believe it, dude? Just like that. Our show is almost over. We do have a couple games out today, though. Let me just scroll down here. What do we have coming out today, my friend?
We have 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim on the Switch, and we also have Don't Starve Together on the Switch. I really like that, Don't Starve. Did you ever play Don't Starve Together? Yes.
Don't Starve is a fantastic game from Clay Entertainment, and they need to bring us back. Man, I'm going blank. You know that ninja game?
I'm always the lumberjack, because then you can just eat the trees.
Dude, it's a fantastic game. I love Clay. They're awesome over there. Mark of the Ninja is what they need to bring back, by the way. I'm just saying it right now. So, Clay, where's the sequel? Like, that was a XBLA title. Like, we're overdue. But Scott, we're also overdue for the show. That has been ITG Daily, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. As always, you can join us live over on twitch.tv/theofficial ITG, as well as YouTube at ITG Reviews. But if you can't join us live, hit us up later. InsideTheGame.ca podcast services, the TV streaming networks around the globe. I'm Drew. That's Scott. We'll see you tomorrow inside the game.